Hi, it's Bob Powers. Today I'm going to do a video on shoe sizes and widths. I'm really surprised how many people I meet today that don't really understand just basic shoe sizing and shoe widths. So we're going to talk about, fitting a good shoe, which is going to be talking about the length and the width. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the U.S. shoe sizing system. English system is slightly different. Now in the U.S. shoe size system, it's called a barley corn for the length, believe it or not. Now, what is a unit of measure of barley corn? Well, a barley corn is actually a third of an inch. And the way the shoe sizing works is actually 12. Like this is a size 12. My shoes are between either like a size 12 to like 11 and a half wide. But you see 12 right there, that's the shoe size. D is the width. So a size 12 is supposed to be for a foot that is 12 inches long. Okay, now here's an interesting part, first of all. Let's just talk about length. This shoe is a size 12, okay? And this shoe as well is a size 12. Okay, now the W means wide. So these shoes are both 12s. This is a Florsheim, and this is Principe is the brand of this shoe. Now the interesting thing is, if you line them both up, if I line up the heels as best I can, you can see clearly the Florsheim is longer. Now, so the first factor that you're going to have is the style of shoe, okay? So if you see the shape of this shoe, the toe, and I apologize, these things really need to be cleaned. They've got salt stains, and I'm saving the salt stains for another video. But this is like a chisel point is what I would call that style of shoe. So in other words, it's an elongated toe. So even though this 12 is longer than this 12, if you really look from above, you can see the widest part of the shoe is fairly close to being equal. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see is just the style of shoe is going to change the length. Now here's another size 12 right here, okay, and this is a Meslon. Now you're going to look at them. I'm going to try and line up the heels. This size 12, you see again, it's actually much shorter. So even though it's a universal, measure of length, you can see here we got three different 12s that are three completely different lengths. So my personal opinion, I would say that a size, okay, really has the greatest meaning within a specific brand, okay? So, for example, this is a pair of Principe, okay, shoes. This is the same exact model of Principe shoes, okay? Principe. Now, I bought these, okay? I actually found them at a local thrift store. I paid 12 bucks for them. It's a $300 shoe. 11.5 M. So this is at 11.5. Now the width, the M there is for medium. So the widths are described one of two different ways. Number one, like this, where you see M, okay, meaning M means, if I can get it in the light, right there, medium or standard width. Then if it's wide, like this one, you'll see a W, okay? If it's narrow, you'll see an N, okay? I believe these Meslons are also done the same way, 12M for medium, okay? Now, they're also, if I can get it in the light so you can see it on the video right there. So that is one way, but most shoes, the U.S. system, are going to be designated by the letter. Now the letter D is a standard width, okay? The widths, I don't know what the absolute narrowest is, but I mean, they go down below A. So like every letter you go down, I believe is 3/16 of an inch or 0.188 inches. So in other words, if you go from a D to, let's just say, these are an E, if I can find where it's printed. So from a D to an E is going to be one step wider, or in theory, 3/16 of an inch. And once again, this is a Florsheim, this is an Allen Edmonds. So you can't necessarily say that the Allen Edmonds is going to be 3/16 wider than the Florsheim. It just doesn't seem to work that way, okay? So now we're going to get a little more complicated. So you're going to see Allen Edmonds, Allen Edmonds, Allen Edmonds, Allen Edmonds. I'm going to talk about those four, and I'll also talk about these two. Within Principe, though, okay, then when you go from a medium to a wide, that's going to be, especially within the same model or last of shoe, that's going to be very accurate. So what do I mean by that? First of all, a last. These are not lasts. This is a shoehorn. But a last, imagine something that looks very much like this, but pretty much one solid piece of plastic, okay, or wood. all shoes are made on a form called a last, okay? So the last has a different shape. So you can see this toe shape, okay, is consistent between this model of shoe. Now you can see here is a different toe shape, okay, more of an almond shape, right? You can see this GH Bass shoe has a different toe shape. That's determined by the shape of the last, okay? So the point is here, different different manufacturers of shoes have different lasts. This is made on what Allen Edmonds called the 65 last. This is a Hastings. This is a Park Avenue made on the 65 last. And this is a Shreveport, also made, I believe, on the 65 last. And this is a McNeil, and you can see clearly the toe shape, shoe shape is very different, right? And this is not made on a 65 last, it's made on 97 last. So what that means is these Allen Edmonds shoes are made on the same last, and you can not interchange, but you can go between those models, size up, size down, and one size wider should be, 3/16 wider. This is a different last shape, so now you're talking about a different series of shoes. So I bought these 11.5 mediums. I love this shoe style. They're just so beautiful. Even though a tad tight, I will wear them, okay? I bought these shoes sight unseen because I knew it was going to be a tad longer. And you can see if I try to line up the backs of the shoes, you can see the widest part of the shoe is a little bit further forward on the 12. It is longer, clearly, and it is definitely wider. Okay, so if I have them on the side, you can clearly see there, right? You can clearly see the wide shoe is clearly much wider, okay? Right? So I knew, sight unseen, that these are going to be one half size longer and a half size wider. They'd fit perfect, and they absolutely do, okay? So when we go back over here, I'm going to show you something else interesting. So I showed you an 11.5E. These are a little tight. They fit. They're good. They're, wearable, and they're comfortable. But like these shoes are some of my most comfortable shoes, and it took me a little while to figure out that what really fits me is a triple E. I think you can go up to like 5E, okay? So in other words, a double E is one step wider than an E. It doesn't go to F. It goes from D to E to double E to then to triple E. Outside of like a specialty shoemaker like Allen Edmonds, in a standard shoe store, triple E width is about as hard to find as a unicorn. I think one time out and about I've actually seen 5E, but so that's one of the other reasons I love Allen Edmonds, because to them this is not something unusual to get, okay? And same thing here with the Shreveports. I didn't try these on before I bought them, okay? I knew this is made on the 65 last and it's triple E, because I knew this one made on a 65 last, 11.5 triple E would fit like a glove. I knew when I bought these they would fit, and they fit like a dream. So if you've got narrow feet, you're going to go from a D, you're going to go down to a C, and then a B, then an A, then double A, then triple A. And I don't think I've ever seen narrower than like 4A, okay? So, I guess to sum it all up, you need to, just try some of the shoes of a particular brand, right? For example, one more point I'll make on these Florsheims here. These Florsheims, as I mentioned, are a, wherever the size is, 12D, okay? But if you look at these Florsheims, I will compare them, okay? Look at these Florsheims in width. This is a little difficult to do one-handed. They are every bit as wide, okay, as the 12 wide Principes. So you see, you're going to have to try different brands on. They may run wide, they may run narrow, the last may run long. But once you find a type of shoe that fits you, then that's going to be a really good indicator of what else fits you in that range. So I hope that made sense. I hope that helps. It's not a completely simple subject, but I'll catch you guys soon.